Do y'all hear the high-pitched whine? Can y'all hear that high-pitched whine? I'm gonna tell y'all about that. So, if you don't remember, you probably don't. It's not, you don't have to. I think it was last year. I had that same high-pitched whine. Was it last year? Yeah, I think I had my own authority. Couldn't figure out what that was. And then not too long after that, had a whole bunch of oil leaking down there where my oil pan is at. Took it to Freightliner. That was when the TA said that maybe one of my rings, one of my pistons was getting oil in on my rings. Anyway, took it to Kenworth and they said my oil pan was warped. Now I hear the same whine again, and I'm gonna wait and see, because I don't have the money yet. But I'm gonna wait and see, because I think that's like a $2,000 fix or something. But this is the thing. So this is how, when you have a truck, you pay attention to what's going on. So after they fixed my oil pan and replaced it, I noticed that when I first start my truck up, my oil pressure would be, like, while it's idling, it'll be at 60, but as soon as I step on the accelerator, it goes up to 80 or close to 100. Now, I first noticed that it was cold outside. And I noticed it this winter. I think it was like in December last year or January this year, one of them. And they were, I just chalked it up to maybe it was cold, so I had to warm up. So whenever it's cold outside, I let it idle, especially when I was having my coolant issue where it wouldn't get up to 150. I would sit and let my truck idle for like 15 minutes, for a pre-trip. And as soon as I step on the accelerator, it goes up to 80 or not, next to 100. So this is where you start putting one and one together. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and on the whining, on that high whistle sound, and then I'm gonna watch and see if oil starts coming out or whatever, right? And then I'm going to pay attention to my oil pressure. It shouldn't, when you step on the accelerator, it shouldn't go up to 80 or 100. Like I said, I just chalked that up because it's cold outside. When it's warm, like when it's like 50 degrees or whatever, it goes up to about 80. But it's like as I drive and the hotter the engine gets, it levels out to 60 where it's supposed to be at. So I'm wondering if I have a different problem, and that's why. So I'm gonna go to Kenworth and talk to him about this. But this is why you need to pay attention to your truck and pay attention to what's going on. And the first time it happens, you don't know what's going on, but you have to pay attention to the signs. So I'm putting all that together. I still don't know what the problem is. It might not have anything to do with anything, but I'm paying attention to it. It's just like when my DEF gauge, when you cut on your key, it jumps, right? Let me see. Or maybe I should show you. Right? You cut on the key and it jumps. See? Do it again. And it comes on and it moves. Alright, so by saying that, the first time it happened, it went up, and what happened? What did it do? It did everything it was supposed to do. But then while I was driving, it went down. It read E. First time that happened, I didn't know what was going on. And then eventually, within the course of that day or maybe another day, it came back and read right. You know, I read correctly. Then I had the dash of death. Died. The dash of death, that's what I like to call it. Come to find out, it was my DEF leveler. Right? So I replaced that. A year later or 2 years later, same thing happened. My DEF gauge went up, and it read empty, and then it came back up. And then I think about a week later or so, dash of death. So I put it together. That was when the parts, they didn't have the parts. So I had to drive all the way down to Cincinnati to get that part and come all the way back up. Was that one, or did I have to go to Grand Rapids? I don't know, I forgot. But I had to go get the part. So now I pay attention to my depth gauge. When I see it doing that, see, I have an engine light right now. Sucker just came on. I don't know what's going on. So let me turn this off. It's a good thing that I called Kenworth and told him I'm bringing my truck in for AC. Now all I gotta do is get home, deliver this load. Here it is again. Can y'all hear that? So what I'm gonna do now, I hear real good in the front. So let me go ahead and tow it up. I think something might be clogged. I don't know where it's coming from. Let me end this right quick.